Mm. You guys ever make a cup of coffee that is so good and so perfect it makes you want to do a little happy dance? Mm, that's me right now. Friends! Mm. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Amethyst Craftworks. I am Samantha, and I am happy Samantha today with my cup of coffee. I cannot keep, stop myself from drinking it. It is so delicious. One of the, simplest pleasures in all of the world is a really good cup of coffee. Hopefully you've got a nice warm drink maybe today, maybe a cup of tea, cup of coffee like me, whatever floats your boat. Hopefully you've got something good. And hello! Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing good today. I hope you've been doing good. I feel like it hasn't been quite as long since the last time I saw you, but I do have a little bit of an update. Emphasis on little. A little bit of an update here for you today. For the movie marquee. The movie marquee is like the only thing that is like keeping me chugging along when it comes to knowing what the heck month it is. Time just sort of like disappears on me, and I have no idea what day it is or where I am or anything else, but the movie marquee helps keep me grounded, keeps me on track, at least slightly, right? And so that's what I've got for you today, a little movie marquee challenge update. And I've also got a little bit bigger, maybe this big instead of this big kind of update, because I've got my pick for the month of June. We are now, as you are seeing this, in the month of June, and so I have my movie pick to select for the month. And so I babbled here enough. Let's get to the good stuff, shall we? Let me sneak just one more sip of my delicious coffee. Before we get into May's pick, May's movie, and the things that I made for May. Now, my update for May is the small part, is the little part, because I didn't make a ton. I made one set for my donation project, which we'll get into, and then I made one granny square. And I did meet my goal, my goal for the movie marquee every month is to make at least one project in the movie's colors. I did that. But every other month I've made more than one. It has been two in a couple of months. It was three, the first month or maybe the second month too. So I've always made more than my goal for the month. So this time it feels kind of underwhelming, shall we say. But time just kind of got away from me. I feel like I have this problem all the time where it'll be like May 1st, and I'm like, cool, got all month. I've got 31 days to work on whatever I can work on for the movie marquee. And then like mid-month hits, and I'm like, still got time, still got 2 weeks, I still got this. And then out of nowhere, it's the 31st of May, and I'm like, well, I did one set, and I don't really know how, because we had all month to do this project, right? It's fine. I'm not beating myself too hard up, boy, my brain just stopped working right there. I'm not beating myself up too hard about it, is what I was trying to say. Or at least I'm attempting to not beat myself up about it. I do have that to show you. That's what I keep looking over there at. It's not my coffee, although that is also in my peripheral here. But the movie marquee. It is a month-long challenge that is running all year long. And it is held by me, by Bella from Bella's Crochet Gifts, and Heather the Crochet Witch. Hello, my friends. How are you? The three of us are each taking turns every month picking a movie. And then whatever movie is picked that month, we are all who are participating, it better be you as well. Anyone who is participating is picking colors and inspiration from that movie's poster. Now, my project for the year this year is making donation hat and scarf, hat and cowl, wintertime snuggly sets to donate. I still haven't quite decided where we're donating them to, as I've previously said. It's fine though. We'll get there when we get there. For now, we're just making the sets. And so for May, the movie pick was Bella's, and it was Treasure Planet. Now, I showed you, hold on, in the first video I did for May, the only other video I did for May, where I showed you the colors that I was selecting out of the movie's poster. I picked brown, red, yellow, and then navy were the colors that I picked out of that poster. But I didn't have the yarns to show yet. So, I've got them now. Now, these are a little worse for wear because I did, in fact, use them. But they were also, like, scrap partial skeins to begin with. So, there's that as well. So, this is Varsity Gold. I picked this color. I've got, what are you? Navy from, this one is Big Twist Classic. Oh, upside down. Big Twist Classic, there we go. This one is Loops and Threads Soft Classic. Right? Yeah, Soft Classic. 4-weight acrylics, navy. This one is really worse for wear. This is a cherry. Either end is just ridiculous. This is a cherry Ogo from Red Heart. Chugging along here, I still probably have a third of it left to go. But this was the red. And then this, like, I don't know, 1 yard piece of brown acrylic yarn was the brown that I selected, which was chocolate from Big Twist Value. Also, this brand, Big Twist Value, from Joann's. But this is all I had left because I used quite a lot of this brown. So this is the like total amount that I've got left. It's just a scrap now. It's going in my scrap ball for sure. These ones, though, they're still fine to leave as is. But these were the colors that I selected. I thought the red, yellow, and blue would look nice together. Primary colors, they go well together. And then the brown would kind of add a little neutralness to it. And so, yeah, now I can show you the project that I made. Hold on. Now, first of all, let's go with the granny square that I made for the movie. Show it up to you so you can maybe see the colors a bit better. This is part of another project I am doing all year, making granny squares. This particular granny square is the Blessed Be granny from womanwalkingawire. I'll link it to it down below, as always. I love this square. I love this version. It is the heartogram version. The top points here of the star are rounded, so they're like a heart. This is going into a sort of bigger project where I'm making a bunch of granny squares for books that I'm reading, etc., etc. I do have an update for that coming. I have been chugging along with my books and audiobooks and reading and listening and all that good stuff. I've made a ton of squares since the last update that I showed you. I just need to, like, whittle away some time to, like, set aside to make a really lengthy update for it, which I don't have at the moment. So, we're going with just this one. This was the square I made for the movie. And then you will have to forgive me because none of the ends are woven in on the project that I made for donations for this movie. Not only did I only do one, but I've got tails still attached here. But maybe I can hide them so we can see them. So this was the kind of color arrangement that I was thinking of in my head when I thought of the red, yellow, and blue and then the brown together. It is a V-stitch hat. There you can see the V-stitches. The tutorial I use for this, the pattern I use for this, is from Fiber Spider, which again, link down below. He is my absolute favorite when it comes to hats, shawls, scarves, cowls, really, like, Fiber Spider is just my favorite tutorialist here on YouTube for both knitting and crocheting, as well as loom knitting, Tunisian crochet. He is my go-to. So naturally I did a Fiber Spider pattern for the hat. I think it turned out pretty cool. I like it a lot. It looks very nice together. I think the colors do work pretty good together, which was what I was hoping for. You know, I don't want to make a set that's ugly, right? It may be part of the challenge of the Movie Marquee itself to pull colors only from the poster to work with, right? But I also have enough control over what I pick to try to make it look nice together, because these aren't even for me. These are going out into the world for someone else to use, right? So I want it to look nice. I think it does. I think this set turned out pretty cute. I would wear it. I like it. I'm not going to put it on because I don't want to get my hair more all in it, like more than it already is, right? So we've got the hat, and then I made a cowl, and it looks this way for a reason, okay? So hold on, let me pull the tails out of the way, because they're still sort of all over. So you can probably tell that this is also the V-stitch, right? Same as the hat. I wanted it to match clearly, you know. I initially was making a scarf. So imagine this like this, right? Like it's a scarf folded in half, right? There's the bottom. This is the bottom edge, you know. I wanted to make it so it was a scarf, and then it would come around, and then the other side would have the same matching red, yellow, blue border on it. Kind of like one I did for Jurassic Park, I think it was. Had a very similar sort of feel to it. The bottom had the colors, and then it was all black, right? However, let me remind you that this was all I had left of the chocolate brown yarn that I was using. And so I used it until I had this much left. And then I was like, this isn't exactly a full scarf size. I mean, folded in half, it doesn't even come past my shoulder. It like comes up to my shoulder, but not past it, right? So it's not very long. It's not, unless the person was quite short, quite petite, it wouldn't be a full scarf. So I frogged it back a little bit, and then I added the colors in so that it has matching stripes on either side of the seam, which is like going down the middle here. I just slip stitched it together. And then this one I will model for you so you can kind of see what I was going for, right? It's a cowl, right? In my head, it goes like this in the front so that the colors show up, but you could totally, you know, fling it around and put the colors in the back. It doesn't matter, right? But this was my artistic vision for this once I realized I didn't have enough of the chocolate brown to make a full size, like full length scarf like I wanted to, you know? So this would be like a nice cowl. If you pull it back, you can really snuggle in there. That was my idea because I didn't have enough to do a full length scarf. Even what I did get out of it, I could probably have done like a color block sort of thing, like brown, and then, you know, done like a stretch of red and a stretch of blue and so on. But this is what I decided on, and I think it looks quite nice despite the fact that my tails are everywhere that you can clearly see. I'm trying my best to hide them and like covertly hold them so they're not flopping around. But I think this set actually turned out pretty nice despite the fact that I kind of ran out of the brown, right? I think it looks nice. I think the colors look great together. I think it will make a nice matching set. Wait a minute. There we go. So that the colors are the same direction. I think it'll make a nice set for someone that wants maybe neutral mostly, but a little pop of color, right? Like that was my that was my thinking there for this set. Now, I did want to make another set, and of course I always want to make more. Like, the more I can donate, the better I feel about the project and so on. But, you know, it is what it is, right? I didn't get to it this month. Maybe June I will crank through even more than I've done up to this point. Anyway, like, it's fine. I was gonna say it doesn't matter. It does matter, and it matters very much to me, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, right? It's fine. So, that was May. Now let's move on to June. If this is your first time joining us for a Movie Marquee draw, then let me explain here. My yarn bowl here, which normally holds this cake of purple, neon-y purple yarn. This yarn bowl contains the 3 movies that are left in my pick. 4 of my picks. The 3 movies I have left to pick from. 1, 2, 3, right? They're all going in there. Well, can I fold them up a bit more? I'm trying to fold them better in half so that they don't just sort of sit together. I can maybe shake them around a little bit. Sort of. We'll see. But anyway, these are the 3 movies that I've got left to pick from. Once I pick, this is the movie pick for the month of June, and we will get started on yarn colors. I'm going to go raid my stash of yarn, my scrap bins, the partial skeins that I've got, because that's what my goal is, to use up yarn. I want all my yarn to eventually look like this one, right? So, let's draw, shall we? I'm not looking, because some of the marker I wrote with sort of bled through the paper, so let's go with this one. Still trying my very best not to look without knocking things over. So I will let you guys have first peek, and then I will look as well. Again, I apologize if it's upside down. I can't see it, but we will reveal the movie for June in 3, 2, 1. What is it? Oh, snap! Can you read that? Can you read my chicken scratch? The Nightmare Before Christmas. You guys knew this movie had to be in here, right? It had to be The Nightmare Before Christmas eventually in my movie picks, right? I mean, we've done Hocus Pocus, we've done Beetlejuice. Now it's time for the other movie that I obsess over. Look at Oogie Boogie right there. He is so happy that we have picked The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, there is a specific poster for The Nightmare Before Christmas that I'm going to put up over there for you. It's kind of like the Jurassic Park poster, in that it's not, I don't think, anyway, it's the original, or maybe it is the original movie poster. But or one of them anyway, because when I think of the Nightmare Before Christmas movie poster, I think of Jack up on Spiral Hill with the moon behind him, and like, that's it. That's the only imagery on the poster. But in this one, again, if I'm remembering correctly, because it's been since December that I found it, right? So it's got Sally in it, in her dress, with her colors of her dress. It's got Lock, Shock, and Barrel on it as well, I think, as well as Zero. So there's more color there than just like black, white, yellow, so on, right? So I'm gonna raid my stash, raid my yarns, and then I will come back and we will go through the colors that I have picked. So hold on one sec here, let me get some colors together and then we'll discuss. Alright, you guys, I am back. I have picked my yarns. So let's reassemble Morticia there with my yarn bowl. There we go. And so let's discuss yarn colors, shall we? While I was picking out yarns and putting them in the good old Movie Marquee project bag that you guys haven't seen in a while, I like got a little thrill of excitement. And it's not, I'm not trying to say that I haven't been excited to crochet or, I haven't been excited by the Movie Marquee or anything like that, because I absolutely have. But there's something different about The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I love it in a way I can't quite describe to you. Like I said, I think at the beginning of the year that my movie picks were nostalgic. Jurassic Park is hands down my most nostalgic movie. Just point blank, period. But The Nightmare Before Christmas tickles a part of my insides in a way that I can't even really specifically describe to you. There was a story with Jurassic Park. There really isn't with The Nightmare Before Christmas. I just have loved it for as long as I can remember. Like, I remember being like 18 and I had a Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie. It was a zip-up hoodie. I cut thumb holes into the sleeves, of course. It like turned into the rattiest, threadbare hoodie that I owned, like the most threadbare. I wore it until it basically fell apart because I loved it so much. I have always loved Jack. I have always loved Oogie Boogie. I think Oogie Boogie is my favorite character even in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Just Tim Burton and the like stop motion animation and the themes and the songs, it makes the little inner goth kid in me happy. And so it still to this day is a movie that I could watch 100 times and never get tired of it. So, needless to say, I am super pumped that it is the pick for the month. And I did go back and look at the poster that I selected. There absolutely is way more color in it if you look very closely. There is, of course, black and white for Jack. The moon and the sky is like black and navy and yellow and white. Zero is there, so there's white and orange. There's the lock, shock, and barrel, so there's all their colors, purple and green and everything else. But I went with some very classic colors, right? I mean, come on, right? So let's start with this one. This, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue what it is. The ball band is long gone. It's just, I have no idea what it is, but it is almost the perfect light blue for Sally's flesh. I hate the word flesh. Like, just as an aside, she doesn't have skin. She's a doll, right? So it's her doll flesh. By the by, a couple of years ago now, the book called, was it All Hail the Pumpkin Queen? Came out, and it was like an official sequel about Sally to The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I listened to it. I really enjoyed it. It was fun and kind of weird and stuff, as you would expect Tim Burton-esque Nightmare Before Christmas sort of themed book to be. But she is definitely a doll. If you read the book, then you know, if you know, you know. So this is her, let's go with her skin tone, shall we? This is her skin tone. And then we've got, let me find it in here. I've got quite a few colors this time around. A reprise of this janky Ogo for her hair. So we've got, my God, there we go. Okay. We've got a reprise of the red. So the red is, of course, Sally's hair. And then I've got Soft Classic Loops and Threads in the color Reef. And then I have Soft Classic Loops and Threads in the color, where are we here? Butter. And then I have a Big Twist Value in the color Magenta. It's Sally's Dress all day long, right? This color combo, these are not even my colors. Like, these aren't colors I ever generally gravitate towards. But if you put pink, yellow, and teal together, I immediately see Sally, and I love it, right? So we've got Sally's Dress. Just sort of piling, oh dear, piling them up here together. These tails, I tell you what, I'm being plagued by tails on this day. And then I do still have this scrap as well of Varsity Gold, which also matches Sally's dress. I might use this in like my granny square, wherever I put the granny square. The granny square that I make for Nightmare Before Christmas for my other project. I think I might use this in here because I still have some left, but I don't think I have enough to do like a scarf and a hat, you know. So this may go with that project. And then I've got a Soft Classic in white and a Hirschner's Worsted 8 in just black. I'm almost positive. Yep, just black. So, of course, this is Mr. Skellington himself, Jack. So, these are the colors that we are going with for June's color palette. It's a good one, y'all. I'll just say that. It's a real good one. I am very pleased with this pile of yarn. Like, I myself look at this color combo and I immediately see The Nightmare Before Christmas. So hopefully someone that gets the hat and cowl, hat and scarf that comes out of this color combination of yarn looks at it and also sees Nightmare Before Christmas out of it, because that would bring me so much joy, you have no idea, right? So I haven't yet decided what patterns or anything I'm going to do for hat and scarf sets, you know, for this project, but regardless of that, I've got the colors picked. That's like step one, and I'm very pleased with them. Are you as pleased as I am with this movie? Do you love the Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas, etc., as much as I do? Because your girl really does. We are a big fan of, oh, I buried him. Oh, there we go. There, you can see Oogie Boogie there. I'm a big fan, clearly, of this movie and the book. You know, I will say I like the book as well. It was a fun read. It kind of fed my obsession with Nightmare Before Christmas as well. Anyway. Thank you so much for joining me here for the chaos that is the Movie Marquee. Especially when it comes to me, I think I add a little extra spice of chaos, you know, a little kiss of chaos to it, just because of who I am as a person, right? But thank you very much for joining me here. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting and all that good stuff. You know the drill. Thank you so much for doing so. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad you joined me here. And until I have an update on one of these, I will catch you next time. Take care. Goodbye.